J.C. Tretter, the center of the Cleveland Browns, who also happens to be the president of the NFL Players Association, said that the reason why games were postponed is because the union made sure they were, because the league wanted to cancel them over the weekend and thus not pay players. What's up with that? What do you got for me on that?
It was really tricky, Rich. I mean, I know, by the letter of the law and the way these things were sort of spelled out in the summer, the league had a right to cancel the games. If they cancel the games or move the games or cause any sort of forfeit, then the players on both teams, both the teams would be not paid. And there was talk about whether or not there were, protocol violations and that sort of stuff. And would this be a forfeit? Like would it be if we move it to Tuesday? Like, what sort of effect would that have? And, I think the minute that the players sort of got it on their radar, they're like, wait a second, like, they're going to try not to pay us? Then it was, we need to find a way to get these games played. Come hell or high water, we got to find a way to make sure everybody's out there and accounted for and everybody's getting paid. And I think that's sort of where they started working together towards, finding a solution. And, obviously it wasn't ideal. And, I mean, if you look at it, there still were a lot of guys out, on Monday night or Monday afternoon and then last night, of course. But I know, once this thing sort of shook out on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, the priority for the union became, let's make sure all of our guys get paid, which, I think is sort of what kicked everything into overdrive as far as trying to find a spot for the games to be played where it wouldn't be, I guess, overly disruptive to the season.
So when it comes down to it, the league was willing to what? Like give the Browns the loss on the spot, and that eventually they did get? Or it's interesting, like Washington and the Rams are the only team that actually won the game that got delayed, and it was of all the teams whose COVID problems caused the delay or brought about the delay, right?
Right. So, Washington loses, Cleveland loses, and, I mean, the Rams are the one team that had the issue that wound up winning the game. And, I mean, I think, so much of this was, where are they digging around? What's the league looking for? And what's going to be best for all the players involved? And I think, let's put it this way, Rich. If you want to look for protocol violations, you can probably find some, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to, go through the tapes and you wanted to go through everything, you could probably find something. And I think, a big thing for the union became, if one or two guys slipped up and then, the league wants to point to that those one or two things and say, we're canceling the game, this team's forfeiting, and nobody's getting paid. I think the union didn't want to allow the league the leeway to do something like that, And I think both me and you were on the air, whatever it was, 10 years ago now, talking about how at odds these sides have been. The trust there, I think it was in a good place last year because everybody was sort of working towards the same conclusion. I don't know that it's in the same place it was before because I do think that there was even, from a global standpoint, there was disagreement. You know what I mean? The union wants, daily testing. The league wants to get rid of testing for vaccinated guys. I think there were some disagreements that led up to this that led to, maybe they're not fully trusting that the league was on the level. And so, at that point, I think for the union, the priority becomes making sure that every player winds up coming out of the weekend with a paycheck.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.